I'm so conflicted and confused. I feel like I've ranked some of these a little bit too low. Hello and welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you've been here before. We are going today to be doing another Taylor Swift rating and ranking video. This time we're specifically doing folklore. I'm very excited for this one. It's one of the ones that I've been eagerly anticipating doing my rating and reaction and review essentially of, because I feel like Folklore was the album that really transformed me into a capital S Swiftie. I have been a fan of Taylor since Fearless. I had that Fearless Platinum Edition album. I'd even been a fan of Our Song and the singles from Debut as well. But it wasn't really until Folklore was released that I really feel like I got more involved in the actual fandom aspect of being a fan of Taylor Swift's music. So not just being a more casual fan that I really love her music and will listen to her music a lot, but more in the sense of I'm actively engaged in the broader Swiftie community is kind of how I see it. I think it has a lot to do with the fact was this was the time that I was really starting to get interested in TikTok. Not only just watching videos, but I also started making videos on TikTok around the same time. I posted some album ranking, when Folklore first dropped. I remember one of the very first TikTok videos I made on my account was one of those ranking after first listen videos where I ranked it. I actually wonder, I haven't even looked at what my initial ranking was. It'll be interesting to see if it differs from that. I might put up a screenshot at the end so we can compare. But yeah, so Folklore, listened to the album for the first time and absolutely fell in love. Other than the Taylor music that I was listening to kind of already in terms of all of her other albums, I would say probably my main, one of my biggest genres or just types of music that I'm interested in is this very folk indie, especially at that time when it was released. This is kind of really up my alley in terms of the type of music. So to see Taylor making this kind of music, I was immediately so obsessed. So this is gonna be a hard one to rank, to review, and to rate, but we're gonna do my best. And yeah, I think there is nothing much else to do except dive straight into it and get started with track one, which is The One. I remember listening to the album, it had been a surprise drop, listening for it the first time and hearing those notes. Oh. I love this song. This song is so good. I think we're gonna have to start off just by doing a super high rating of a 9 out of 10. I don't think I can justify going any lower than a 9 because like I said, those intro notes, iconic, I knew from just hearing those first notes that this was gonna be a fantastic album. And I feel this is just such a timeless song. No matter how many times I revisit it, I still enjoy it just as much. So we're gonna start off strong with a 9 out of 10 and then move on to track number 2, which is Cardigan. This is one of those songs that I don't listen to for a long time, and I think when I initially was listening to the album when it first came out, this was obviously the one that was pushed as a single, so I think maybe just from the amount that it was played relative to the rest of the album, I didn't necessarily give it its flowers at the time is kind of what I'm remembering. But you revisit it now 4 years on and it's so good. It makes me wonder why do I not listen to the song more? It's so good. I think I'm gonna go with an 8.5 because I definitely don't love it as much as I love the one, but it's still like a very strong song. Like, it's so good. Anyway, let's move on to track number 3, which is The Last Great American Dynasty.
Forever flew in all the bitch pack friends from the city. It was the last great American dynasty. Who knows if she never showed up, what could have been? Free of women with madness, the men in bad habits, and then it was bought by me.
I remember like listening to that line for the first time. Iconic. Okay, Last Great American Dynasty. I enjoy it. It's definitely not one of my favorites. I think I'm gonna have to go with like a 7. It's just not one of the standouts on this album for me. But it's like not a bad song. It's just like not a standout. So I think a 7 is fair. And then we move on to track number 4, which is Exile, featuring Bon Iver. I always thought his name was pronounced Bon Iver.
And I didn't like the ending. You're not my homeland anymore. So what am I defending now?
So I'm leaving at the side door.
This build.
So step right out. There is no amount of cry I can do for all this time. But if you read your mind, come turn things around. So now give the world and
Okay, if you've watched my video on Red and you know how I feel about The Last Time, you might already be able to guess how I feel about Exile, because I feel like this is like just a continuation of The Last Time, and The Last Time is one of my favorite songs on Red, and this is definitely like from the beginning been one of my favorite songs on Folklore. I'm struggling now to decide where to put it though. I think I have to put it above the one, because like just the way their voices like meld together, the way they harmonize, that build in the like I don't know, I just think that this is one of the best like songs on this album, and like I think one of her best songs in general. And I love Bon Iver, and I think their voices like work so beautifully, and just like the play on the like, I gave so many signs, you never gave me a sign. Like, I love it. I love it. I love the story. I love the song. I love the vibe. I love the feel. I love the sound. All of it. I think it has to be like 9.5. I don't know if I've given anything a 10 yet. I can't remember if I've given anything a 10 yet. I filmed these like so far apart, but like, yeah, 9.5. I might bump it up depending on how I rate these other songs, but like definitely like at least bare minimum 9.5. Anyway, let's move on to track number 5, which is My Tears Ricochet. It's just started raining outside, which I feel like is perfect for this kind of like song and this album and this mood, like the like soft gentle rain. Okay, My Tears Ricochet. And this is a hard one to rank because it's one of those type of songs that I feel like you have to be in a specific mood to listen to and to enjoy. I feel like, I think I do prefer it to Last Great American Dynasty, but not by that much. I think I'm gonna give it like a 7.3, which might seem quite low, but it's just, like there's very specific times when I will listen to it, and outside of that, it's not necessarily a standout track on this album for me. So I think a 7.3 is right for My Tears Ricochet. Anyway, let's move on to track number 6, which is Mirrorball.
I'll show you every version of yourself tonight. Hush, when no one is around, my dear.
I really like this song. I think I'm gonna give it an 8. I definitely prefer it to My Tears Ricochet. It's a song that I'm gonna put on like more often. Also, so far, by the way, none of these songs are skips. Like, I think this is like probably gonna be like up there with like least skips in an album. Folklore, definitely. I just think the quality is so consistent throughout. Anyway, yeah, Mirrorball 8. I think that is fair. And let's move on to our next track, which is track number 7. 7.
My peak at 7 feet in the swing of the
Her voice and the music of this song is just so hauntingly beautiful. I love it.
sweet tea in the summer. Cross your heart, won't tell no other. And though I can't recall your face, I still got love for you.
It's just such a beautiful song. Literally the only like thing that I could say negative about the song is that sometimes I feel like the outro just drags a little bit, but like the music is so beautiful, her voice is so beautiful in it, the story, incredible. I'm now having to decide, do I rate it higher than the one, which I gave a 9? Do I rate it higher than Exile? I am so conflicted as to where I put this. Definitely is above a 9. It's at least a 9 or above, if not above. I feel like I'm gonna give it like a 9.2. But does that mean the one needs to be higher? No, I feel like the one can stay at a 9. I do think I like 7 a little bit more than I like the one. This is such a tough album to rank. Like, the quality is so consistent. Anyway, moving on to track number 8, which is August. I love how she named, like, the 1 is track 1, 7 is track 7, August, the 8th month, is track 8. It just, like, scratches an itch in my brain. I love it. Anyway, let's get started with August.
Whispers of are you sure? Never have I ever before. But I can see us lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment in time. 'Cause it was never mine.
Okay, August. Such a good song. Again, so many of these songs are just so good. I think I'm gonna rate it like an 8.8. Very fitting since it's track 8 and it's August. 8.8. Because I definitely think that I do prefer it to Cardigan. It's just not quite on the same level as the one for me. So we'll go with an 8.8 for August and then move on to track number 9, which is This Is Me Trying.
I just wanted you to know that this is me trying to talk. So I got wasted like all my potential, and my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. I have a lot of regrets about that. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere. Fell behind all my classmates and I ended up here, pouring out my
Okay, This Is Me Trying. This song, unfortunately, I relate to on a very deeply personal level. It is literally on the playlist that I put on when I need a good cry and just like want to feel bad about myself. I put this song on. So yeah, very deeply relatable. Not necessarily a pleasant song to listen to because, like I said, it's on my crying playlist. Like, not necessarily in the best mood when I'm trying to listen to the song. So that makes it a little hard to rank because like, it's a beautiful song, and like the fact that it is so deeply personal and relatable to me makes me want to rate it like highly. But then at the same time, like, this is a song that like if it comes on in the car, I'm probably skipping because like I'm not trying to feel like, you know, in my feels all the time. So I don't even know if I'm gonna rate it as a skip because there's a lot of times when it will come on and I'll just get into my feels. No, I'm gonna keep it as not a skip, but what am I going to rate it? Do I like it more than the one? Do I like it less than the one? Do I like it more than August? I feel like maybe like an 8.9 might be the right spot for it. Because I think I just prefer the one. Yeah, okay, we'll leave it as 8.9 for now. We might need to come back and adjust some of these at some point as we move to the like last part of this album. But anyway, let's move on now to track number 10, which is Illicit Affairs.
Nobody sees you leave. Hood over your head, keep your eyes down. Tell your friends you're out for a run.
I love how understated, especially this beginning part of the song is.
Don't call me kid, don't call me baby. Look at this godforsaken mess that you made me. You showed me colors you know I can't see with anyone else.
Okay, Illicit Affairs, I do really like it, but I feel like if I'd done this rating sooner to when, like closer to when the album had actually come out, like a couple of years ago, I would have rated this higher. Like, I think it was one of my top songs when the album first came out. I remember like I choreographed like a pole, like little like routine combo thing to it, because I just thought the song like was so beautiful, and it really actually did work well for like a song to dance and move to. However, like now that the album has sit with me for several years, it's not necessarily one that I revisit that often. I think I'm gonna give it like a 7.1, because I think I do like it slightly more than Last Great American Dynasty, but it's definitely not one of the standouts for me. Okay, and then let's move on to track number 11, which is Invisible String.
The clues I didn't see. Isn't it just so pretty to think all along there was some invisible string tying you to me?
Okay, Invisible String. I think I'm gonna put it just above or just below My Tears Ricochet. I like it, but sometimes it can feel like a bit flat. Like, it's not one that I can listen to over and over again, but it's like nice when you revisit it. So I'm gonna give it, I think a 7.2, putting it just between Illicit Affairs and My Tears Ricochet. I think that's the right spot for it. And then we'll move on to track number 12, which is Mad Woman.
Every time you call me crazy, I get more crazy. What about that? And when you say you seem angry, I get more angry. And there's nothing like a mad woman.
Okay, Mad Woman, there's something just about the production that doesn't quite like gel and vibe with me as much as the other songs on this album. I think I'm gonna give it like a 6.8. I think that's fair. I definitely prefer Last Great American Dynasty to Mad Woman, I would say. And then we'll move on to track number 13, which is Epiphany.
Calling off the beaches now. Sir, I think he's bleeding out. And some things you just can't speak about. With you I serve, with you I fall down, down. What you breathing now.
So this is not the type of song that I can listen to all the time, but it is such a like a moving song. Like, I literally get goosebumps when I listen to it. Although, like, I don't like turn to it that often, just because it's a heavy song. Like, you're not always gonna be in the mood for it. I find that like with quite a few of the songs on this album, like I'll put this album on in like very specific times when I'm in a very specific mood, when I like listen to the full album. There's certain songs that I can like pull out and listen to at any time, but this is definitely not one of those. This is like you want to be in your feels a little bit with this one, but it's so beautiful. Like, there's something about the production of this song that just, it like hits me so deeply. So I feel like I need to rank it like higher than Cardigan. I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it like an 8.6. Like, I wasn't actually like, before I played it, I wasn't actually thinking that I was gonna rank it that highly. I was honestly thinking like, oh, I'll probably rank it somewhere like around like 7 point something. like that. And then just like listening to the song, like I'm like, there is no way I can rank a song like this anything lower than like an 8.5. Like it has to be like an 8.6. It's such a stunning song. Anyway, before I ramble too much, let's move on to track number 14, which is Betty.
The worst thing that I ever did was what I did to you. But if I just showed up at your party, would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to fuck myself or lead me to the garden? Oh, I showed up at your party.
This build to this like final, oh, I love this.
Yeah, I showed up at your party. Yeah, I showed up at your party. Will you have me? Will you love me?
Okay, this is such a difficult one to rank like directly after Epiphany because they are such different songs, but I feel like these both so this is hard. I feel like do I like it more than August? That is the question. Do I like it more than This Is Me Trying? I feel like I'm gonna give I'm gonna change things. I'm gonna give I don't know. Betty. Do I like Betty more than August? I'm gonna give it an 8.7. I'm so conflicted about that. I don't know whether I should have put it above and given it like an 8.9. But then, like, I'm trying not to give songs this exact same, like, ranking. So then I would have to adjust This Is Me Trying. But then I'm thinking, like, do I maybe like August more than This Is Me Trying? And This Is Me Trying should be 8.7. And August should be... And Betty should be 8.8 and August should be 8.9. Maybe that's how I should do it. I don't know. Like, these songs are, like, all... Like, the quality on this album, I've said this like I think a million times already by this point, but it's so consistent like on this whole album that it's so hard to rank these songs because they're all just at such a like level. Anyway, let's move on to track number 15, which is Peace.
If you brittle hardwood, if you cascade ocean wave blues come, all these people think love's for show, but I would die for you in secret. The devil's in the details, but you got a friend in me. Would it be enough if I could never give you peace?
Okay, I think in the process of doing this ranking, Peace and Epiphany have like basically swapped for me, like in just like re-listening to these songs, because I went in pressing play thinking that I was gonna rank Peace like an 8 point something, and then listening to it and looking at my other rankings, I'm just like, I don't know that I can do that, and I feel like I'm gonna give it this is hard. I actually think I have to give it like a 6.9. Just looking at the other songs that I've ranked above it, I feel like I may have underranked some of them. But I feel like I'll leave it like that for now, with Peace at a 6.9. Yeah, I was really not expecting that. I was expecting Epiphany to be like lower than Peace, definitely. But it's weird how like when you re-listen to songs, like sometimes just in a different phase of your life, they can adjust, which is why I'll probably like, once we wrap up this series, I will probably go back and like re-rank all of this multiple times in the future, because I feel like my ranking does change. Like even this will be it'll be so different from how I ranked it when I first heard the album. Anyway, okay, moving on to track number 16, which is the last track on the standard edition of the album, and that is Hoax.
And give me a reason. Your faithless love's the only hoax I believe in. Don't want no other shade of blue.
And like perfect timing that the rain is like really starting to pour down now as we're playing Hoax.
There's sadness in you. I left a part of me back in New York. You knew the hero died, so what's the movie for? You know it still hurts underneath my scars when they pull me apart.
This is another song that like you really listen to when you're in a crying mood, which again makes it difficult to rank, as is the theme of this whole album. I think I keep saying like with every album that I rank, this is the most difficult to rank. So I think I'm gonna stop saying that, but like just know it's difficult to rank these songs, okay? You try it for yourself. Anyway, Hoax. Where are we going to put you? I feel like Hoax. Do I like it more than Epiphany? Do I like it more than Betty? Do I like it more than August? Do I like it more than This Is Me Trying? Do you know what? I think I'm gonna give Hoax a 9, and I'm gonna bump up the one, not copy, to a 9.1. And that, I don't know if I'm happy with this, but this is what it is for now. And we will move on to the last track, the bonus track, which is The Lakes, track number 17.
Those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry. I'm sad and off, but not without my muse. Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong, and my beloved, neither do you.
I actually think, I think I'm gonna re-rank Mirabelle. I feel like I underranked it. I'm gonna give it an 8.4, and I'm gonna give The Lakes an 8.3, because I definitely think that I like Mirabelle slightly more than The Lakes, but yeah, I feel like 8.3 is right for The Lakes. Is it, that puts it above Illicit Affairs, Invisible String, Peace, Last Great American Dynasty. I feel like maybe it's, I'm so conflicted and confused. I feel like I've ranked some of these a little bit too low. Like Last Great American Dynasty, Illicit Affairs, and Invisible String. I'm wondering if those are too low. But I'm gonna leave them as they are for now, because yeah, I think this is okay in terms of the ranking. Let's actually order it. Let's rank, no, let's do a descending for rating, and we can see that up at the top is Exile, followed by 7. Should 7 be a little bit higher? And then followed by the 1. I don't know. Anyway, Exile 7, the 1, Hoax, all 9s and above. Then we've got This Is Me Trying, August, Betty, Epiphany, Cardigan, Mirabelle, The Lakes, My Tears Ricochet, Invisible String, Illicit Affairs, Last Great American Dynasty, Peace, and Mad Woman. Are those skips? I actually don't think there's any skips on this album. Like, if I'm honest, like I don't even think that I skipped Mad Woman that often for it to be considered a skip. Like, I actually think I'm gonna leave it as a no skip album, as shocking as that might be. I definitely think this is one of the most consistent albums in terms of like, I think there's definitely albums where I have more songs that I rate more highly, but then on those albums there's also songs that I rate like quite low. Whereas this album, even though like Exile's the highest at a 9.5 and there's only 4 songs that are 9 and above, like in general just the quality of this album is so consistent, and like I said, that makes it very difficult to rank. But yeah, let's see what the average rating is actually for this, because I'll be very interested to see. Okay, average 8.19. Okay, so the average of 8.19 actually puts it as my second highest average album ranking so far. I might do like at some point at the end, once I've ranked all of the albums, like a comparison, like album to album, but like definitely the quality is just like so consistent on this. I actually, yeah, I even, like I said, might go back and at some point and re-rank My Tears Ricochet, Invisible String, Illicit Affairs, Last Great American Dynasty. I don't know if I've ranked those too low. We'll see, but yeah, I think this is like good for the order. At least I think this is the correct order relative to the album. I am now starting to ramble, so I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you so much for watching this video, yet another Taylor Swift ranking video. I'm really enjoying doing these, and I will be back with more. I'm actually hoping to get my Evermore album rating and ranking video up pretty soon after this one, since obviously, you know, there are sister albums. So Evermore will be hopefully coming soon, and we'll rank that. And then we've only got a couple more albums to go until we are almost all caught up. So I'm excited for that. And then, like I said, we'll probably go back and we'll look at all the songs, all the albums, how all rankings stack up with each other. But for now, this is the final ranking for Taylor Swift's Folklore album. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around and making it all the way to the end if you did, because this is probably a pretty long video by now. I think I rambled about quite a lot of these songs. If you do want to see the upcoming rankings and future videos in this series, then please do make sure you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss out on that. Leave me a comment as well, letting me know what you thought of my ranking. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did I rate some of these songs too lowly? Do you think I maybe rated some songs too high? Do you disagree with my order here? Let me know. I would love to know your thoughts. And yeah, that's it from me. Again, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.